Wow, once again, just amazing that this information is finally getting out to the people, finally getting out to America. Yes, it's true. The President of the United States is in Bible prophecy, not only in Daniel, but the book of Revelation, chapter 6. 9/11 was not only a false flag terror attack, a pre-planned orchestrated false flag terror event, but the President of the United States is the most powerful political figure probably in almost the history of the world. And George W. Bush was the sitting president at the time of the terror attacks of 9/11, 2001. And George W. Bush has been found guilty for his crimes and his treason and his mass murder. And this is the article that describes his hanging and the moments before that. George W. Bush hanged at GITMO. The article found at realrawnews.com. Article dated January 6th, 2022. The Tyrannus saga of George W. Bush is finally over. On Tuesday morning, the 43rd President of the United States stood before an ensemble of military brass loyal to the White Hat movement and was hanged by the neck until dead, his lifeless body oscillating in the morning breeze. His day had begun like so many others before him, whose time had come to face the rope. He was awoken at 5 a.m. and asked whether he wanted a final meal or a chance to shave, with a safety razor, of course. But before his escort arrived to transport him to Gitmo's southern edge, where gallows awaited his arrival. Eat? Shave? What's the blanking point? Bush reportedly told Gitmo security. An hour later, he, hands handcuffed and ankles shackled, was in the rear seat of a Hummer heading to what he must have known would be the spot where his life would end. At the execution site of Rear Admiral Darcy E. Crandall and two Marine Corps generals stood near the bottom of the shallow metal staircase that led upwards to the grisly apparatus, a length of braided rope affixed to a steel beam, beneath which a shoulder wearing neither a name tag nor rank insignia tugged at the rope as if to check its tautness. A Navy physician with a stethoscope around his neck and a chaplain clutching a King James Bible flanked Rear Admiral Crandall. The guards who had driven Bush to the site of his death steered him to the stairs, instructing him to ascend the steps and abide the instructions of the soldier controlling the noose. The soldier slipped Bush's head into the rope and glanced down at Rear Admiral Crandall. Quote, Rear Admiral Crandall asks U.S. President George W. Bush, you have been found guilty of murder and treason and thus have been sentenced to hang for crimes you committed against the nation and its people. Do you wish last rites or have any final words? So this is my bleeping send-off for all I've done to protect this country. I got a couple military traitors. Do whatever you bleeping have to. We'll see each other in hell, Bush said. Execute, Rear Admiral Crandall said to the soldier atop the platform. Bush's neck snapped a moment after the trapdoor beneath him had swung open. His corpse undulated a few seconds, and he was lowered to the ground and pronounced dead by the physician. His body was zipped into a polyurethane bag, placed in the bed of another Hummer, and carted off to an unknown location. Rear Admiral Crandall said to two Marine generals beside him, he won't be the last Bush to face a military tribunal. And that concludes the article found at realrawnews.com. Yes, it is amazing, the U.S. president being in Bible prophecy, not Bush's actual death, but that the terror attack of 9/11 found in Daniel chapter 11, verse 40, Again, Bush was the president at the time of that terror attack, which opened the first seal. And under Bush, the conquest of the Middle East began officially to open the first seal of Revelation 6, verse 2. So the identity of the rider of the white horse in Revelation 6:2, a political king. Again, he was given the office of the presidency after a contested election. He was in the presidential running against the climate guy. Al Gore. Al Gore, vice president under Clinton. But yes, the book that I put together, The Rider of the White Horse, the U.S. President in Prophecy, gives so much more detail around the prophetic fulfillment of that terror attack in the book, The Rider of the White Horse. You can find that at our website at The Great Invitation, thegreatinvitation.net. thegreatinvitation.net. You can download a free copy of that book, The Rider of the White Horse. And everybody needs to see that, needs to read it. It's historical. It's a fulfillment of Bible prophecy. And we've basically been under the first seal, The Rider of the White Horse, for over 20 years. It's taken a lot of time, and now they're going for Russia. So, again, The Rider of the White Horse, provoking Russia into a nuclear World War III scenario. And